Most hackers are smart, but Albert Gonzalez, he was on another level. By the age of 14, he had already broken into government websites.
That AP on my hand, see Terrell to go a fan. All these pussies got no motion.
Most hackers are smart, but Albert Gonzalez, he was on another level. By the age of 14, he had already broken into government websites. By 16, he was hacking NASA. And by his 20s...
Do your homework on him hacking into NASA at 16, bro. Like, that's crazy work. Being able to hack into the government websites and shit, that's crazy work. My boy wasn't even playing video games for real. He wasn't even playing video games. Do your homework on him not playing video games for real. He was on that.
He pulled off one of the biggest financial heists in history.
Albert Gonzalez is awaiting trial on allegations he orchestrated the largest data breach in history.
He stole millions of credit card numbers, worked with the Russian mob, and laundered so much money that he had to start burying cash in his backyard. The best part, the very people chasing him ended up hiring him. Albert lived a double life. On one hand, he worked for the FBI, helping them catch cyber criminals. On the other hand, he was the mastermind behind the crimes.
He and his accomplices are accused of acquiring 130 million credit and debit card numbers from 5 large companies.
But who was Albert Gonzalez? How did a quiet kid from Miami become...
Look at him. He got the evil genius smile. Look at him. Like, he was crazy.
One of the most wanted hackers in the world? And how did he manage to outsmart not just companies, but also the very people chasing him? Albert Gonzalez grew up in Miami, Florida, the son of Cuban immigrants. His father ran a small gardening business, but Albert had no interest in manual labor. Instead, he was drawn to computers. Not for gaming, not for schoolwork, but for something far more interesting: hacking. By the time he was 14, he had already joined an underground hacking group called the Keebler Elves, under the alias Soup Nazi. And if you're wondering why a group of hackers named themselves after a cookie brand, well, let's just say hackers aren't exactly known for their branding skills. At first, Albert was just pulling pranks, hacking into government websites, leaving rude messages, and showing off his skills. One of his earliest targets? The website of the Indian government. He defaced it just because he could. Every security hole he found, every firewall he bypassed, gave him a better understanding of how networks operated. It was like solving puzzles, except the puzzles he solved were being used to protect real businesses, banks, and even governments. But Albert quickly realized there was more to hacking than just getting a laugh. If he was smart about it, he could make money, serious money. At the time, the internet was going through a massive shift. Online shopping was becoming a thing, and suddenly, millions of people were entering their credit card information into websites with security systems that, to be honest, were laughably bad. Albert saw an opportunity. He came up with a simple but
That's why you gotta be careful with your credit card shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, they'll get you. Listen to your boy. Thinking shit sweet, alright. Look in your account one day, you see that number. I'm telling you.
Plan. Steal credit card numbers, order expensive stuff, and have it delivered to places no one was watching. Abandoned houses. It was like digital shoplifting. He'd place an order, wait for the package to arrive, then casually swing by and pick it up on his way to school. No one suspected a thing, and it worked. For a while, Albert lived the kind of life most teenagers could only dream of. He wasn't rich, but he was pulling in way more than any kid his age had a right to. But here's the thing about getting away with something for too long. It makes you overconfident. Albert wasn't satisfied with just stealing credit card numbers anymore. He wanted to push the limits, to go after something bigger. He decided to hack into NASA.
What the fuck?
Yes, NASA, the very organization that put men on the moon. The same agency responsible for some of the most advanced technology in the world. But hacking NASA was nothing like hacking a...
Nigga, I was playing Mario Kart at the age of 14. Like, what the fuck?
Secured shopping website. NASA had real security experts figure out who was behind it. Imagine being 16, sitting at your computer, thinking you're invincible. Suddenly, your house is surrounded by federal agents. But here's the twist. Since Albert was a minor, the FBI couldn't throw the book at him. Instead, they did something that, in hindsight, was a massive mistake. They let him go with a warning. They even asked him to show them exactly how he hacked into their systems.
Nigga, I would have told they ass, you gotta pay me. If you want to see how I do this, nigga, you gotta pay me. Fuck is you talking about? Like, fuck all that other shit. Like, what the fuck? This ain't free, nigga. Like, nigga, we talking about some shit that nobody else knows about. Some shit that's not discoverable. Some shit that I discovered. You know what I'm saying? I invented myself. Nigga, I'ma need some money. Fuck is you talking about? That's what I would have told him.
FBI, this was a teachable moment. To Albert, it was proof that he was smarter than them. After graduating high school, Albert moved to Manhattan and tried working normal tech jobs, but quickly realized the 9-to-5 life wasn't for him. Then the dot-com bubble burst. His world crumbled, his savings evaporated, and opportunities vanished. Once again, Albert turned back to hacking. This time, he joined an online cybercrime network called the Shadow Crew.
Shadow Crew was a global marketplace for online crime.
Shadow Crew was one of the most elite hacking forums on the internet. This was a place where criminals sold stolen credit card numbers, fake IDs, and hacking tools.
These hackers are hacking into company systems in order to get access to credit card information of consumers and sell it.
Albert climbed the ranks fast, becoming the moderator. His specialty was carding, stealing credit card info and using it to create cloned cards. These were then used to withdraw cash from ATM worldwide. But here's where things started going wrong. One of his partners got arrested at an ATM while dressed in drag, withdrawing thousands of dollars with cloned cards. Yeah, you heard that right. The police found ID linking him to Albert, and they raided Albert's apartment. This time, though, he wasn't a minor, and the FBI wasn't going to let him off easy. But suddenly, they made him an offer he cannot refuse. You see, the FBI had a problem. Shadow Crew was a massive cybercrime network, and they needed someone inside to take it down. They gave Albert a choice, either spend 20 years in prison or work for them. He took the deal. For the next few years, Albert was living a double life. By day, he was a government informant, helping
What y'all would have did, bruh? Y'all comment down below. Would y'all would have took the 20 years or would y'all would have worked for him? y'all comment down below. Shit, I ain't doing no 20 years. Shit, I work for him. I don't get no fuck. Like, nigga, I ain't doing no 20 years, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Like, nigga, I'm not finna do no 20 years, G.
FBI tracked down cyber criminals. By night, he was still hacking. Only now, he was playing both sides. One of his biggest contributions was helping the FBI launch Operation Firewall, which led to the arrests of 28 Shadow Crew members across 8 countries. At this point, the FBI thought Albert had changed. They relocated him to Miami, set him up with a fresh start, and assumed he'd leave his criminal past behind. But as it turned out, they were wrong. Albert put together a new team of hackers, including Jonathan James, Christopher Scott, and Stephen Watt. Together, they developed a new hacking technique called war driving, using laptops and antennas to hack into unsecured corporate Wi-Fi networks. Their first big target, TJ Maxx. They broke into the company's main network and hit the jackpot, 200 million stored credit card numbers.
As many as 200 million customer records were stolen from Framingham-based TJX.
At first, they couldn't access the encrypted data. But then, during a drug-fueled brainstorming session, they came up with a genius idea, a custom-built malware that intercepted credit card details during transactions before they were encrypted. They installed this malware across thousands of TJ Maxx stores, and for months, they siphoned off card data in real time. But Albert wasn't done yet. Albert had cracked the hardest part, hacking into company databases, stealing millions of credit card numbers, and selling them on the black market. But selling digital data only got him so far. He needed a way to turn those stolen numbers into real money. Lots of money. That's when he connected with Maxim Yari, a Ukrainian hacker with deep ties to the Russian mob. Maxim's organization also had contacts in China, who were experts in making fake credit cards. And these weren't just some cheap knockoffs that could be spotted a mile away. These were perfect replicas. Real plastic cards with embossed numbers, magnetic strips, and even holograms that made them look indistinguishable from the real ones. The stolen credit card numbers Albert provided were programmed onto these fake cards and then shipped out to cashers all over the world. For Albert, this was the perfect system. He didn't have to risk walking up to an ATM or moving large amounts of cash. He just had to supply Maxim with fresh credit card data, and in return he got paid $250,000 per month, all in cash. But Albert had a new problem. What do you do with millions of dollars in illegal cash? You can't just...
Nigga, I'm investing in that shit. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Nigga, I'm buying stocks, trade. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, I'm investing in that shit. Nigga, I'm getting into real estate. Nigga, I'm flipping houses with that. Fuck is you talking about? I'm owning land with that shit. Like, stop playing, bro. 100 million? Come on, G. Stop it, bro. Stop it, G. What y'all would have did? Y'all comment down below.
Into a bank and deposit it without raising suspicion. You can't buy a mansion with bags of money without making people ask questions. Albert was making more money than he could possibly spend in a lifetime, and he had to find ways to hide it. His solution? Bury it. He started stuffing cash into plastic bags and burying it in his parents' backyard. He didn't trust banks, and he knew that trying to launder large amounts of money through legitimate businesses would only attract attention. So, he turned his backyard into his own personal underground bank vault. And when burying money wasn't enough, he started spending recklessly. He bought luxury cars, threw extravagant parties, and lived like a millionaire because he was one. Miami, where Albert was based, was the perfect place for someone looking to blend into a world of rich playboys and flashy lifestyles. No one questioned a young guy in his 20s driving expensive cars and living in a high-rise condo. But with that kind of spending comes attention. And attention is the last thing you want when you're running one of the biggest cybercrime operations in the world. By 2007, the FBI had started piecing together what was happening at TJ Maxx. The sheer scale of the theft was unlike anything they had ever seen. Meanwhile, the Secret Service had been tracking Maxim. They followed him across multiple countries, keeping tabs on his movements and waiting for the right moment to strike. Eventually, they caught a break. Maxim had flown to Turkey for a meeting, and the FBI saw their chance. With the help of Turkish authorities, they set up an operation to take him down. But this wasn't some quiet arrest at an airport. They lured him into a nightclub, got him comfortable, and then swooped in. Maxim was arrested quickly, but the real prize wasn't just putting him in handcuffs. It was what he was carrying, his laptop. And that laptop had everything in it. Bank transactions, fake card orders, chat logs, and, most importantly, the identity of his biggest supplier, Albert Gonzalez. To say that the FBI was shocked would be an understatement. They gave Albert a second chance. They let him avoid prison, trusted him, even put him on the government payroll. And what did he do? He used his position as an informant to make himself even more powerful. This was a slap in the face. And if there's one thing law enforcement hates, it's being played. The moment they confirmed Albert's involvement, he became priority number one.
That's the one thing, like, if you don't fall through with your bet, bro, like, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna look good for you. I'm keeping it a million with y'all. Listen to your boy. For real.
Tried to run. He went into hiding, but this time the authorities were already one step ahead. In May 2008, Albert found himself in hot water once again. This time, he was arrested for hacking into the computer network of Dave & Buster's, a popular restaurant chain. He had managed to infiltrate their systems and steal approximately 5,000 credit card numbers. The authorities became suspicious after noticing that the hackers kept returning to the same restaurant to reintroduce their malware, as it would not restart after the company's computers shut down. Albert was apprehended at the National Hotel in Miami Beach. During the raid, authorities seized $1.6 million in cash, including the $1 million that he had buried in plastic bags in a 3-foot drum in his parents' backyard. They also confiscated his laptops and a compact Glock pistol. In August 2009, Albert was indicted in New Jersey for hacking into Heartland Payment Systems, 7-Eleven, and Hannaford Brothers, among others. Realizing the gravity of his situation, Albert entered into plea negotiations. On August 28, 2009, his attorney filed papers indicating that Albert would plead guilty to all 19 charges in the TJ Maxx case. On March 25th, U.S. District Judge sentenced him to 20 years in prison. The following day, the judge sentenced him to an additional 20 years in connection with the Heartland Payment Systems case. However, the sentences were ordered to run concurrently, meaning Albert would serve a total of 20 years for both cases. Albert was incarcerated at the Federal Medical Center.
Consecutive, bro. If it was consecutive, that nigga would have had to do 40. I'm telling you, G.
Kentucky, a facility known for housing inmates who require medical assistance. After serving 13 years of his 20-year sentence, he was released from prison on September 19th, 2023. And as of now, his whereabouts remain unknown. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Y'all,
You have a...
that was the biggest scammer in the world, you know what I'm saying? The biggest hacker in the world who worked for the FBI and continued to scam afterwards. Y'all comment down below. Y'all give me y'all thoughts on this one. I ain't gonna lie, this is crazy though. You know what I'm saying? They say he got released like a few years ago and shit, but that shit crazy though. Love y'all. See y'all in the next one, man. I'm out. Follow my second channel, Yo Terrell Reacting Again. For Eyes Comes being produced over there. Y'all go subscribe to my third channel, Terrell Be Hotboxing. I'll be doing weed reviews over there. Do your homework on that. I will be popping up pictures. But like I said, I love y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one, man. I'm out. Second channel for life. It's a marathon. Y'all stay y'all P's and Q's. Don't be out here lacking, man.